Today I wanted to talk about Warcraft. This movie is based on the video game World of Warcraft. It's a very popular MMO. I don't need to explain it to anyone. Anyone knows about the controversial MMO 10 years ago, so that got many players addicted and stuff like that. But today I wanted to talk about the movie and my impressions of the movie and my verdict. You will hear all about it in this video. Excuse my English, it isn't my mother tongue. I will try my best to articulate and talk very loudly about my impression of the movie. I went to see it yesterday. I know that in the States it's not yet released until June 10th. So yeah, I got to see it yesterday. So well, my experience with World of Warcraft, I bought the game 10 years ago. I never actually played it because I didn't know about the subscription fee. I was like 9-10 years old, so I don't remember much about 10, but I did play it with friends. I did play it with friends a lot, like 10, 20, 30 hours. I even played once 6 hours straight, which is not much, but I was 10 years old, so I couldn't play a lot because of many situations, school and stuff. But excuse me, but I don't know a lot about the lore, so I went completely new into the movie, didn't know anything about the lore. I know a couple of names from the game, then Duratan, but not their backstory or anything. My opinion of the movie is great. It's really awesome. I really enjoyed it. Most movies like Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones are fantasy based. They're all fantasy based, but they are that high in fantasy, like you don't see weird shaped castles and such. Well, Warcraft immediately starts high fantasy. It doesn't shy away from the things that they let us play in the MMO. Really, they were amazing with the art. It's exactly copied from the game into the movie, but high res. Actually, I hope one day if they remake the MMO, that will never happen, but I hope if they remake the MMO with newer graphics, newer gameplay, I hope it looks a bit like the movie, because it was really spectacular. It's an awesome movie. I really recommend you go out and watch it. And the reason I made this review is because many critics bash on this movie, saying it's garbage. It doesn't. You don't need to waste your money on it. But no, really, I'm here to say that go out and watch it. Even try it. If you're not that into fantasy, try it. It may not be for you, but still try it. Look if you like some parts of the movie, but in my opinion, yes, the movie has some problems. I will get to it later in this video. But overall, it's a really good movie. It's AAA. It's really new. The props, the special effects, we'll get into detail later. Really watch this movie. It's great. I'm going to talk about the positives first. The characters, all of them. Best thing about this movie, they give a lot of explanation to the characters. It's really amazing. You know who Duratan is, Draka, you get to care about Duratan, Draka, Orgrim, Doomhammer, Anduin. All the characters are well written and true from what I've read from the lore from World of Warcraft, because you have many movie-based games that introduces these characters, fill in a little bit of the backstory, and that's it. And then there are killing machines or stupidly going off into their mission. No, this movie really, it's amazing. It's very high quality. You really, not one character. I didn't have one character that I didn't like. No one. They were all very well written. They all acted very well. All the actors, even the actors that played the CGI orcs are amazing. Really, it's quite breathtaking how good the characters were made in this movie. And the world, like I said, Azeroth is beautifully made, and the CGI is very high quality. The way the world is made. Okay, CGI always had that problem, like when you see real persons in a CGI world or behind the blue screen, it always looks a bit fake. It will always have that. This movie has it also, but because it's always in like CGI based environments, amazing sets like the entrance to the village of Stormwind. That's a full set, it's not CGI, and you see that in the movie. But they really did the perfect mix of a lot of CGI in places they couldn't use the set building, but then they mixed it up with CGI. It's not like The Hobbit where everything is CGI, almost, really everything. No, they mixed it up with CGI based environments in a set based studio. It's really it's a bit hard to explain, but there is a bit of a difference with the CGI, but it's quite great. No, really, and the action, wow, I really love the action. There is a lot of talking in the beginning to set up the characters, of course, and that's what I like most about movies. I like when there's action at the beginning, but still, if they make the whole film only action and they kill off certain characters, which they do, yeah, and you don't care about them, then the movie, in my opinion, is bad. But because the characters are very well written, the world looks beautiful, the CGI is very good. I got to say that the action scenes are really good. It doesn't quite hit the bar of Lord of the Rings moments, but I compare the first film of Warcraft with the first film of the Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. At the end, it also had those cool action scenes. Warcraft, the ending is much more, has a huge scale, has a huge fight, but it feels a bit like the end of the Fellowship of the Ring. Not quite. It's epic. Don't get me wrong. It's really epic, but it doesn't quite hit the bar. And I wanted to talk about the sets and the props. The props, wow! Like I said, they didn't go the route with, we are going to make a movie based on the world of Warcraft. We will remake everything. A more human-based set or human-based props, like real swords that we used in the Middle Ages. No, they really got into the art of the weapons and the armors in the game, and they made it into real pieces, and it shows really. When the Alliance, their armor, their weapons, their shields, they're all perfectly well done. No, really, the props, the sets, they really make this world alive, and I think that's what most people don't like about this movie. It's high fantasy. They really took the game and made it into a movie. The reason most critics hate this movie, and I can't believe it, because all those things, the dialogue, even the ending, yes, there are cliffhangers because they want to make a trilogy, but they are not like cliffhangers like they stop the movie in a very important scene. No, it ends, the movie ends with some cliffhangers, but it has a conclusion. It's not a cheap-ass cliffhanger like somebody's falling off a cliff or something like that. But no, it's really well done. It's really well done. The only real negatives I have is World of Warcraft's lore is really huge. It's books after books, pages after pages of lore that has grown when the years went on with World of Warcraft's MMO and the expansions. And they tried to put it all into a 2-hour movie, and they gloss over some important elements about some characters. That's the one reason I didn't like about this movie, is that I love every part of this movie, but you will see it. They talk about every character, but they don't go over everything, and really gets over things fast. That's one negative. The second negative I had is when you see the trailer, I think it showed that it was going to be Alliance and Hordes, the orcs and the humans. You don't see an epic battle where with all of Azeroth gets united under one banner and fight the orcs at the end. No, it's really just the humans versus the orcs. If you love the dwarves like I do, if you like the high elves, there won't be... They show them in the part in the movie when they talk about the threat that is coming in to Stormwind and the orcs and the horde, you see glimpses of the dwarves, even the dwarves in the beginning. You see them in the beginning, and you see the high elves and the mages. Yeah, it's only them, and that's a bit of a shame. But overall, that's my personal opinion, my personal negative. It isn't really a negative that won't affect the movie, but it's something personal for me. But overall, the movie is great. If I need to rate it, it's very hard because I really want to rate it a 9. But I think there is also, I also heard yesterday on Twitter that they cut 40 minutes of the movie. 40 minutes of the movie because of budget problems and because they needed to finish it before the release date of June 1st or June 10th in the States. So they didn't finish the special effects on those 40 minutes. And when you see the trailer, when you go watch the movie and see the trailer, then you're going to see some pieces are cut out of the main movie. So at the moment, I will rate it an 8 out of 10. I will give it a must-watch, so you go, because you really need to see this movie. And please go out and watch this movie, because I'm afraid, because of all the critics that bashed on the movie, gave it a 2, even a 1 I saw on Metacritic. I'm really scared that many people will be scared and won't go watch the movie in the theater, but no, really do it, please. I really want a trilogy out of this. It's a really good movie, and actually it's one of the few best video game movies of all time. In my opinion, you can put it besides Mortal Kombat. Those two movies, Mortal Kombat and Warcraft, are at the moment the best game-based movies that I ever saw in my life. And I even want to go watch it again, just to support the creators and Blizzard, and just to see it again, because it's that epic, it's that awesome. Especially, this is an opinion from someone who doesn't know much about the lore, so I think maybe for real die-hard lore fans of the World of Warcraft will be a bit upset of the movie, because there are major characters that are going to die in the movie that live on in the Warcraft universe, and the way they die, it's quite shocking and sad. The movie is emotional. I almost teared up at 2 or 3 scenes, so yeah, it's really crazy. My expectations from the movie were very high, even the last few weeks before the actual release date. No, really, I came in, I was a bit afraid because it's a video game movie, but after, when the credits rolled, I wanted more. That's the best thing you can have, even for a movie. And so this is why I made this video review, this crappy video review. My apologies for my English. I'm going to try to edit much about my bad English, and if you have questions, you can always put it in the comments. Please, if you like this video, even if it's a crappy one and it's in my room, it's not on a green screen with special effects, but if you liked this video, give it a like. I won't ask you to subscribe on my channel. I really wanted to do this video, really, because actually I'm very intrigued in the World of Warcraft. I love the lore. I played Warcraft, the strategy game. I wasn't a big fan of the World of Warcraft because I never actually played the MMO, only with friends, but I didn't really make my own character, never really explored every nook and cranny of Azeroth. But this is really a review from someone who loves fantasy, who loves Lord of the Rings, who loves Game of Thrones, everything about fantasy, but the good type of fantasy, not the crappy fantasy movies. But yeah, really, I went in with high hopes, a little bit of skepticism, but overall, it really was a good movie. So yeah, I'm going to make a separate video about my channel later on. I don't know when. It's a bit busy here. But thank you for watching. Even if you don't leave a like or you forget it, even I forget sometimes to give likes to my favorite YouTubers. Please tell your friends, tell your family to go out and watch this movie. It's really great, and I'm not the only one. Many fans of the World of Warcraft, even some newcomers, really like this movie. And yes, I almost forgot, there is also humor in the movie, and you're going to see my favorite spell in the game in this movie, and the way it's executed, it's really funny. And you're going to see some monsters from the MMO. Please don't spoil anything about the movie in the comments, but overall, thank you for just even watching 2 minutes of my video. I really appreciate it if you give it a like, and well, I see you in my next video, but you can expect new movie review, even video game reviews, maybe on this channel, if I have more time, dedicate myself to making videos. And yeah, if you really like it, and if you have some criticism about my way I gave my review, please tell it in the comments. So yeah, thank you, and have a great day.